You're watching Sports Central on CBS 2, sponsored by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Sports Central Sunday Night. I'm Jim Hill. We begin tonight with basketball and the Clippers, who entered the day with a game-and-a-half lead over the Kings for the 8th and final seed in the Western Conference, with the Lakers 3.5 games back. Tonight, they took on the Nuggets in Denver. Clippers trying to even the season series against the Denver Nuggets. First quarter, Clippers are trailing 22-19. Lou Williams drives to the hoop, makes a nice bounce pass to Montrezl Harrell, who slams it home. But the Nuggets took a 77-61 lead in the third quarter. Paul Millsap with the runner and the foul. He had 21 points and 16 big rebounds. And then later in the quarter, Williams turns it over to Gary Harris. He gets it ahead to Monte Morris. He lays it in. Extend their lead to 88-70. Denver's up big in the fourth quarter. Check out the behind-the-head pass to Nikola Jokic. They swing it around the perimeter. Millsap buries the three-pointer. The Clippers lose 123-96.
I thought they were the tougher team, the more physical team. They got most of the loose balls. They beat us down the floor, so I thought it started on the defensive end. And then in the third quarter, I thought it was our offense that let us down.
To Major League Baseball we go, and the Dodgers have confirmed that Clayton Kershaw is dealing with a shoulder inflammation. Kershaw has he's not had an MRI, but has been taking anti-inflammatory medication. He's feeling better and will pitch a little bit tomorrow for the first time since last Wednesday.
He's in a good place. He feels good. And I think that he understands that it's a process, and we're all on the same page where we don't want to rush it back. If we're going to take a few days to kind of take a step back, let's take advantage of it. So we're all on the same page. Just in talking to him, he's encouraged.
Meanwhile, the Dodgers taking on the Angels, who had a split squad matchup today. Dodgers shortstop Chris Taylor getting his first start of the spring, and he lines it into left field. His first hit is a stand-up RBI double as he went 1 for 2 on the day. As for the Angels, well, one of the top prospects, Mike Tice, clears the bases with his line drive triple. That's his 5th RBI of the spring. The Dodgers would win by a score of 13-9. The Angels took on the Reds in the other game today. Albert Pujols making his spring debut today since having knee surgery and elbow surgeries. He hit a grounder into the hole at shortstop and looks good, beating out the throw at first base. Pujols was 2 for 2, but the Angels lose by a score of 14-2. To golf we go. The ball has now really been flying all week long. We own that at the WGC Mexico Championship down in Mexico City. With an elevation of more than 2,000 feet higher than Denver, shots have been going 15% further. It's no surprise one of the biggest hitters of them all would come away with the victory today. It wasn't Tiger Woods who started the day 10 shots off the lead. Tiger making his first appearance south of the border. Tiger slowed down after a nice start, but on the par 3 13th hole, his tee shot stops a few feet from the pin that set up a birdie. Tiger ended the week at 8 under 276. 54-hole leader Dustin Johnson is pulling away on the back nine on number 14. He gets a 19-footer to fall for birdie. DJ moves to 19 under par. And Rory McIlroy struggled early on but made a late charge. At 14 under on number 15, he got a look here for eagle from the edge of the green, 65 feet away. It looks good, but it just barely misses. McIlroy finished at 16 under 268. And Johnson closed it out on 18. He taps in for the par. DJ picks up his 6th WGC championship and 20th PGA Tour win at 21 under 263.
To get 20 wins out here is very difficult, and to do it before I turn 35 is pretty incredible, and it definitely means a lot. This is a big win for me. It gives me a lot of confidence for the rest of the year, and I feel like the game's in good form right now.
It was overall just an amazing experience to be here, to play in Mexico for the first time, and also for me to play at altitude. It was interesting to try and get a feel for how far the ball was going and trust it.
All right, everybody, we're just getting started on this edition of Sports Central Sunday Night. When we come back, this.
You're there, you're one of 2 teams, and you can't close it out. It's tough.
I sit down with the Dodger manager, Dave Roberts, to talk about moving on after losing back-to-back World Series. All that and more when we return.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you're watching Sports Central on CBS 2.
And fresh off back-to-back National League championships, the Dodgers handed Dave Roberts a 4-year contract extension. But as he gets set to begin his 4th season as manager, Roberts knows the boys in blue have to do more to take that final step. I sat down with the skipper to discuss his new contract and a whole lot more.
Ultimately, I knew something was going to get done. Both sides were certain of that. But when you're talking about the season, and that's got to take priority. And then you look at the off season, and you're trying to backfill players, coaches, and things like that. So I'm happy that we got it taken care of, and now we can look forward to 2019.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
Have you gotten over the sting of back-to-back?
I have, and I think that 17 was a little bit tougher. I think obviously Game 7, but it's always you're there, you're one of 2 teams, and you can't close it out. It's tough, but you have a responsibility to the organization to reset, recalibrate your mind, and change your focus to the current season. And so with the guys that we have right now, some of the guys that we brought in, there's still that hunger, excitement, and we're working. What did you learn from last year that will help you this coming season? Well, I think that every year you can't predict, but the way that our guys respond to adversities, I think that something that I knew was in our ball club, but until you really see, you start off 16-26 and you play 163 and you get back to the World Series. So there's a lot of positive, a lot of good, and that's what we're taking from last year.
Here he comes with a 3-2. He strikes out Culberson. 8 shutout innings from Clayton Kershaw.
Would you say that one of the strengths of your club would have to be your pitching staff, because you have, 7 guys maybe?
Sure. Easily.
They could be starters anywhere.
Absolutely, 7, 8, 9 guys that could potentially start in any major league club. Pitching, you're as good as your starting pitching is, in my opinion. We have a lot of it. The bullpen, I think that we have a lot of depth and guys that have pitched big innings for us. And so, yeah, there's a lot of strength with this ball club. But the starting pitching, the position player depth, it's hard to poke holes in our club. Is the 3rd time the charm? The 3rd time is a charm. I'm certain of it, and we've experienced a lot. You look at guys like Chris Taylor had his first full year a couple years ago. Cody Bellinger first full years, last 2 years. I mean, all they've known is the World Series. So there's been a lot of good, but I expect us to break through and hold that trophy at the end of October. And you can hardly wait to get going. I can't wait, Jimmy, and this is part of it, the part of the process. Spring training. We've had a couple tough days with the rain, but our guys are still getting their work in. But the the additions of Pollock, bringing Russell Martin back, Joe Kelly, getting Corey Seager back, and seeing these guys kind of mesh together, it is so much fun. Time now for our final commercial break on this edition of Sports Central Sunday Night. When we come back on this Oscar Sunday evening, Magic Johnson watching and tweeting about the Academy Awards, just like the rest of us. The best of his tweets are next. Magic Johnson was live tweeting the Oscars tonight, and he was a big fan of Lady Gaga's necklace. He wrote, quote, "Lady Gaga, you have to tell me where you got that beautiful necklace," end of quote. Well, actually, the iconic Tiffany diamond, which has over 128 carats, is worth $30 million. Meanwhile, the Knicks also got a shout out at the Academy Awards for snapping their 18-game home losing streak, but they're still the Knicks. Dennis Smith Jr. and Kevin Knox go for a rebound, but they accidentally tip in for their own basket. New York got the last laugh, however, as they beat the Spurs, of all people, 130 to 118. That's all the time we have for this Sunday night, and I hope you join me next Sunday right after the news. So until then, thank you for watching. Have a good week, and keep the faith.